it wasn't a coincidence that I ended up making a film. It wasn't an accident. I think my fellow producer on the project, Molly O'Brien, who'd been on the project since the beginning, she used to say that I was fated to make this film, and I never wanted to believe it. But when I think back on it, this project originated with a wonderful woman named Lorena Parley, who was Caesar's press secretary, and she was Caesar's press secretary during Caesar's fast, and she started collecting the footage and shooting footage at around day 23. And Molly and I started working on a project, the Sierra Club Chronicles, and I got a call from Lorena, and she was looking for somebody to collaborate with. And I was committed to a project, and I said I couldn't do it, and she said she'd touch base with me later, several months later, but sadly she passed away of breast cancer. And just from that phone call, though, there was enough trust between us that she had told her parents to track me down and asked me if I'd finish the film she started. And like I said, I don't think that was a coincidental act. At that time, I was really trying to sort of, I think maybe, I don't want to say look for meaning for a life, but I realized that there was something very deep and profound life that I hadn't thrown myself into. And when I started looking at that footage, I think what immediately emerged from that fast footage was this intense faith and spirituality that I had never seen in that way before. And I looked at this act of fasting, and I thought, oh my God, this is the power of faith. This, not only in the act of fasting, but in this whole lifelong movement of doing what we think nowadays is impossible. If we thought, hey, let's organize a movement of poor, uneducated people, the most oppressed workers in this country, and we're gonna take on the big corporate agribusiness to task, and we're gonna win. I mean, that sounds like ridiculous. But as I saw all the footage, I thought, well, this is exactly what's happening. And what was common, the common theme through that was the faith of these people and Caesar's faith. And it became clear that the power of faith is undeniable. And Molly and I started working together, and we realized, where did that go? It's lost. We don't see faith-based movements that are fueling social justice movements in the way that we saw in the civil rights movements or in the farm worker movement. So it became much more urgent that we told the story. And we had we were blessed and very, very fortunate to tell that story and to make it clear that it was a story of faith and not to shy away from it. It's a real honor to receive this award, because I think it means that we may have gotten it right. So, sorry. So real quickly, I just have to thank a few people that really made this film possible. And Norman Lear is a very spiritual man himself. He provided the seed money for us to even embark on the film, because he wanted to see a film about faith. And he saw the same thing that we did. There was no faith-inspired social justice movements. And so he gave us the seed money, and later on, Lynn Davis Lear, really made it possible for us to get to Sundance. Once we hadn't finished the film, we found out we got into Sundance, we had like $1,000 in the bank, and we thought, oh my God, we got this wonderful invitation, we're never gonna make it. Well, Molly talked to Lynn, and Lynn said, the power of this film and what we see, it has to be seen. And she stepped in and made it possible. And so we're really, really indebted to the Lear Family Foundation for making this film, raising it to the level that it otherwise may not have gotten to. And then, we have other funders. God, it's really an intense story. One of our other funders, Ford Foundation, there's a woman named Sarah Rios at Ford Foundation who discovered this film, asked us to get some money. It was a very critical point. She got us to rough cut. Well, sadly, It was the last project she got funded after she left Ford. She was diagnosed with ALS. And this project is one of the last gifts she was able to give the world from her heart and humanity and her work. So we have to thank Sarah Rios and Ford Foundation. And then lastly, Sundance Institute. They were the second funder that came on board. So it's really, really a wonderful, wonderful universe of people who saw the power of this film. And I think who brought it home to us, particularly around the Catholic theme was Sister Rose. I don't know how you discovered us, but Sister Rose discovered this film, and she and a couple other wonderful people, among whom, through a network through John McKenna, if anybody know, we screened at the Congress of Religious Education, and we met, and Sister Rose said, "There's something amazing about your film." She said, "I used to fast during my religious studies, and I never understood it. And once I saw your film, it all made sense. I understand fasting now in a way I'd never understood it before." And I thought, wow, that is the biggest compliment you can give a film, give a project. So thanks for that wonderful compliment, Sister Rose. And lastly, I really have to thank my domestic partner, Gary Thompson. Baby, I don't think I could have done it without you. It took 7 years to make this film, and he so could have easily just said, "You know what, get a job." I'm not going to support this. You're getting older. This film thing, yeah, it sounds funny. Get a job, and he didn't. He made sure I didn't give up. He wouldn't let me give up. Thanks, Gary, and thank you guys.